My name is Dr. Adam Price. With Indian Falls Dental Center. We've been in business since 1990. It was established by Dr. Dave Leatherwood, and we used to have an office right up the street, and that was a great office for many years. And it just got to the point where we were facing either having to do a remodel of the old space or think about doing something on a new location. The main thrust for the new location was that our old one was on the second story of a building, and we didn't have an elevator, so we had steps, and then we had a really long wheelchair ramp. So we really wanted to get to where we were on the first floor, just to make it a lot easier for many of our patients. It was quite challenging with the wheelchair ramp for a lot of them, and some patients didn't want to come to the practice because of that. We're a lower volume practice. We are designed to build relationships with our patients, to see families and multi-generations of those families. We want to essentially become friends with our patients and part of their lives, not just a doctor that they come to and go through. And so we wanted to have a facility that gave us plenty of room to interact, places where we could sit down face to face with the patient, not in the dental chair, but in another room maybe where we can discuss treatment options, and a place where people felt really comfortable to come in. There was no hindrance to them getting to it, plenty of natural light, and anything that we could do to make going to the dentist a pleasant experience that the building could control. We wanted to do that, and it made sense with the layout and the design to do that. And there's a few cool things that the architects came up with that gave us a lot of light. We have some big windows in the operatories. Down the hallway we have a nice wide open lighted door, so there's always natural light no matter where you're standing in the office. Nice tall ceilings, and really nicely done trim, and the front desk is a nice light color, and I think that they did a very good job making it feel very welcoming. I met Paul just in passing. We became friends, and then I really thought about what he said, where we need to do the planning ahead of time, because the more we plan, the smoother the transition to the new building and meeting the deadlines would be. So it was about 3 years before my targeted move-in date where I really sat down with Paul, and he recommended reaching out to builders and figuring out what the steps were. And the thing that I really liked about Paul versus maybe a couple other builders that I talked to was that he was willing to go through the design phase. Every time I would meet with the architect, he would be there. Every time I would meet with the engineer, he would be there. And so Paul knew what my budget was, he knew what the time frame was, and so he was able to drive those meetings in a way to where we weren't going down a pathway that wasn't going to satisfy what the goals were time-wise or budget-wise. We broke ground, and there was someone here working every day. Sometimes multiple contractors. There was just always progress being made. So that was a real joy to see. I've seen other construction projects happen where they start and then they stop, and then they start and then they stop. And so this was just constant, steady progress. Some days, monumental progress. We moved in. We started working through the building. We had a couple very minor things arise, but Paul's guys were there the day I called, and they piece of trim on a door needed repaired. They repaired that quickly. A window, something happened to it. They repaired that within hours of me calling them, and so the follow-up service was excellent. So without a doubt, I'd recommend Paul to anybody that's looking for a commercial building. few things that were unique to my perspective was I was a friend of his I would have considered ahead of time, but throughout the process, it really actually strengthened our friendship. Many times, if you hire a friend to do something of this magnitude, the friendship gets soured. But with Paul, I feel like we grew closer through the process, and his character shined through, and it really went beyond my expectations with that.